Chapter 1: Ancient Wings. Imagine walking through a dense, green forest where the sunlight barely touches the forest floor. Above, the sound of flapping echoes between the ancient trees. But it's not the birds you see today. These are beings that belong to a time long forgotten, creatures with scales that glisten in the filtered light. They glide and weave through the canopy with grace, creatures who were the masters of the skies before humans ever dreamed of flight. In this journey, we're looking at a world where ancient species, those who lived long before us, might have mastered the art of flight and even journeyed beyond our Earth. Sounds like a story, doesn't it? But let's delve into the reality of it, the things we know, and explore why it's such a tantalizing thought. Dinosaurs are always a good place to start when we talk about ancient creatures and flight. These fascinating beings roamed the Earth about 230 million years ago. While not all of them had the gift of flight or traveling to the stars, some were getting there. Take, for instance, the Archaeopteryx, known as one of the earliest birds, or perhaps the closest link between dinosaurs and birds. This creature looked a lot like a dinosaur with wings. Living about 150 million years ago, it had feathers, like modern birds, but it also had teeth, claws on its wings, and a bony tail. It's an exciting blend of features from both worlds. It reminds us of how evolution works, how adaptations slowly shape life, until one day, things look much different than before. But what if, over millions of years, some species could have taken another step altogether? What if some of these ancient creatures didn't just fly through the skies, but somehow managed, through evolution and intelligence, to reach beyond our planet? There are intriguing bits of evidence that spark this line of inquiry. Consider the pterosaurs, flying reptiles with wingspans that could reach up to 33 feet, much larger than any modern bird. Although they didn't have intelligent society or technology, they had a type of flight mechanism that was perfectly adapted to their time. There's no direct evidence to suggest they built engines or rockets, but their very existence points to the potential for life on Earth to evolve capabilities not envisioned in the regular fossil record. Now, imagine this. Over millions of years, small, intelligent creatures that might have evolved advanced thinking could have found unique ways to travel. While technology as we know it leaves behind traces like the bones of engines or leftovers of old tools, nature might have allowed for a different form of advancement. What if some of these creatures had adapted to harness natural elements, like wind currents, to launch themselves further and higher? Such a phenomenon is difficult to prove without concrete remnants, but the study of bioluminescent marine life shows us that life can evolve in remarkable, complex ways that don't leave behind a permanent fossil, but do tell a story of innovation and survival. Explorers in space, in modern times, use satellites and probes. Earth has sent many robotic explorers into space since the first artificial satellite, Sputnik, orbited our planet in 1957. However, nature has some astounding explorers of its own. For example, seeds of plants like the cottonseed can be carried by the wind for miles, planting themselves in faraway lands thanks to lightweight structures, almost like nature's version of space probes. Could similar natural processes have been used by advanced extinct species with vision to travel to our moon or beyond? Back to Earth, a fascinating notion is that of tools and speech. Scientists have long studied archaeological sites for early human tools and marks of speech. But examining these sites with an eye for something beyond our own lineage opens a door to possibility. Researchers point to ancient etchings and geological formations that seem beyond their time, sparking debate either of extraordinary prehistoric human capability or the possibility that other intelligence left their mark in a way we've yet to comprehend fully. In our exploration, we must ask, Why are there gaps in the fossil record? Could it be that we simply haven't found everything yet? Or that some finds haven't been correctly understood? Many paleontologists are of the opinion that since Earth's crust is constantly moving, many fossils are yet to be found or have been destroyed over time. The idea that even a small fraction of life on Earth could have developed talents or technologies to leave their earthly bonds is a wonder that inspires continued exploration and curiosity. So, as we wander through these ancient times, just imagine for a moment the possibilities. If some species had achieved great technological feats that perhaps took them to places we've only started dreaming of. As we dig further and unravel the mysteries of our planet's history, who knows what captivating stories will emerge from the ground next? Sometimes, the potential of what might have existed pushes the boundaries of our understanding, way beyond the stories we know, hinting at silent wings that once flew through alien skies. Chapter 1: Ancient Wings. Imagine walking through a dense, green forest where the sunlight barely touches the forest floor. Above, the sound of flapping echoes between the ancient trees. But it's not the birds you see today. These are beings that belong to a time long forgotten, creatures with scales that glisten in the filtered light. They glide and weave through the canopy with grace, creatures who were the masters of the skies before humans ever dreamed of flight. In this journey, we're looking at a world where ancient species, those who lived long before us, might have mastered the art of flight and even journeyed beyond our Earth. Sounds like a story, doesn't it? But let's delve into the reality of it, the things we know, and explore why it's such a tantalizing thought. Dinosaurs are always a good place to start when we talk about ancient creatures and flight. These fascinating beings roamed the Earth about 230 million years ago. While not all of them had the gift of flight or traveling to the stars, some were getting there. Take, for instance, the Archaeopteryx, known as one of the earliest birds or perhaps the closest link between dinosaurs and birds. This creature looked a lot like a dinosaur with wings. Living about 150 million years ago, it had feathers like modern birds, but it also had teeth, claws on its wings, and a bony tail. It's an exciting blend of features from both worlds. It reminds us of how evolution works, how adaptations slowly shape life, until one day, things look much different than before. But what if, over millions of years, some species could have taken another step altogether? What if some of these ancient creatures didn't just fly through the skies, but somehow managed, through evolution and intelligence, to reach beyond our planet? There are intriguing bits of evidence that spark this line of inquiry. Consider the pterosaurs, flying reptiles with wingspans that could reach up to 33 feet, much larger than any modern bird. Although they didn't have intelligent society or technology, they had a type of flight mechanism that was perfectly adapted to their time. There's no direct evidence to suggest they built engines or rockets, but their very existence points to the potential for life on Earth to evolve capabilities not envisioned in the regular fossil record. Now, imagine this. Over millions of years, small, intelligent creatures that might have evolved advanced thinking could have found unique ways to travel, while technology as we know it leaves behind traces, like the bones of engines or leftovers of old tools. Nature might have allowed for a different form of advancement. What if some of these creatures had adapted to harness natural elements, like wind currents, to launch themselves further and higher? Such a phenomenon is difficult to prove without concrete remnants, but the study of bioluminescent marine life shows us that life can evolve in remarkable, complex ways that don't leave behind a permanent fossil, but do tell a story of innovation and survival. Explorers in space, in modern times, use satellites and probes. Earth has sent many robotic explorers into space, since the first artificial satellites, Sputnik, orbited our planet in 1957. However, nature has some astounding explorers of its own. For example, seeds of plants like the cottonseed can be carried by the wind for miles, planting themselves in faraway lands thanks to lightweight structures, almost like nature's version of space probes. Could similar natural processes have been used by advanced extinct species with vision to travel to our moon or beyond? Back to Earth, a fascinating notion is that of tools and speech. Scientists have long studied archaeological sites for early human tools and marks of speech. But examining these sites with an eye for something beyond our own lineage opens a door to possibility. Researchers point to ancient etchings and geological formations that seem beyond their time, sparking debate either of extraordinary prehistoric human capability or the possibility that other intelligence left their mark in a way we've yet to comprehend fully. In our exploration, we must ask, why are there gaps in the fossil record? Could it be that we simply haven't found everything yet? Or that some finds haven't been correctly understood? Many paleontologists are of the opinion that since Earth's crust is constantly moving, many fossils are yet to be found or have been destroyed over time. The idea that even a small fraction of life on Earth could have developed talents or technologies to leave their earthly bonds is a wonder that inspires continued exploration and curiosity. So, as we wander through these ancient times, just imagine for a moment the possibilities. If some species had achieved great technological feats that perhaps took them to places we've only started dreaming of. As we dig further and unravel the mysteries of our planet's history, who knows what captivating stories will emerge from the ground next? Sometimes, the potential of what might have existed pushes the boundaries of our understanding, way beyond the stories we know, hinting at silent wings that once flew through alien skies. Chapter 3: Forgotten Horizons. Imagine standing on the ancient plains, grass swaying gently in the breeze, looking up at incredible creatures soaring through the sky. But these are not birds. They are unlike anything we see today. Millions of years ago, the Earth was home to a wide range of fantastic animals, from the gigantic dinosaurs to underwater leviathans. It's intriguing to think about what might have happened if these creatures had developed abilities beyond their natural evolution. What if some of these ancient species had not only achieved flight, but also ventured beyond our world, reaching for the stars? Let's start with pterosaurs. These were not dinosaurs, but they lived alongside them. Pterosaurs were the first creatures after insects to evolve powered flight, and some of them boasted impressive wingspans. The largest, like the Quetzalcoatlus, had wingspans stretching over 30 feet. Imagine the sight of such a creature gliding overhead, casting a shadow that moves like a slow, silent ghost. In a way, pterosaurs already mastered much of what it means to defy gravity, developing lightweight bones and strong muscles for sustained flight. What if their intellect had grown alongside their physical prowess? Could they have fashioned tools or sought to explore the skies beyond their time? Moving on, we look at the intelligent cephalopods, octopuses, and squids. These marine animals have intelligence that can rival some land animals. They are masters of camouflage and problem solving. Some studies suggest that they use tools and even show rudimentary problem-solving skills. It's fun to ponder the possibility that, in some alternate timeline, cephalopods could have pooled their intellect to create civilizations under the sea. What would have happened if they continued to evolve in intelligence, making strides toward technology or understanding the mysteries of their watery world? While we often think of flight as a characteristic of birds and bats, it's fascinating to note that there are many moments in the history of life on Earth where creatures developed unique methods of locomotion. The flying fish, for instance, leap from the water with sleek, graceful bodies designed to soar above the waves, if only for a swooping arch. This adaptation is not flight as we typically envision it, but evolution's innovative answer to escaping predators. With time, could these evolutionary steps have led to something that could break free from gravity entirely? The possibility of advanced, intelligent dinosaurs is another intriguing concept to explore. Some paleontologists have theorized about the dinosauroid, a hypothesized shape for what a dinosaur might have evolved into had it not gone extinct. This theoretical creature would have been bipedal, with a large brain, much like humans. The idea stems from dinosaurs, such as Troodon, a small, relatively smart dinosaur with grasping hands. While this is mostly speculative due to the lack of direct evidence, it raises questions about the different paths evolution can take. What about the potential for extinct species to have developed ways to travel beyond Earth? While today's scientific understanding tells us that dinosaurs or other ancient species did not have the capability for space travel, considering this possibility provides a creative lens through which we can appreciate the wonders of evolution. In the vast stretches of the universe, perhaps similar life forms could have developed in ways unfathomable to us here on Earth. As researchers study exoplanets and other solar systems, the search continues for signs of life that might share this extraordinary quest for knowledge and exploration. Throughout Earth's history, many species have disappeared, leaving behind only the faint echoes of their existence. Fossils tell us about their physical forms, yet so much is lost in the silent passage of deep time. Could some of these creatures have developed social structures or even rudimentary communication? Though such ideas are mainly within the realm of speculation, they highlight the remarkable adaptability and creativity of life. As scientists continue to study the planet's past, unraveling the mysteries of how it shaped the trajectory of life, there's much to learn and discover. Every fossil uncovered, every new piece of the puzzle found, brings us a step closer to understanding how life not only endured, but thrived, and sometimes vanished. Exploring these topics urges us to consider the delicate interconnectedness of life and the endless possibilities that come with evolution. It prompts us to look more closely at the current biodiversity on our planet and to cherish the stories written in the layers of rock and the spiral of DNA. These reflections on what could have been give us a deeper appreciation for the wonders of our natural world and the rich tapestry of life that has woven itself over eons. The questions may remain unanswered, yet they inspire curiosity, pushing our imaginations beyond the edge of what we know today. We may never fully understand the intricate dance of evolution that brought us to this moment in time, but the quest for knowledge continues, as boundless as the horizon we seek to explore. Chapter 4: Skyward Secrets. Imagine a world where ancient species, long before us, reached the skies, achieving feats we associate only with humankind. This isn't mere fantasy, but a puzzle pieced together from scientific clues scattered through time. Our planet holds secrets buried deep or floated on forgotten winds, suggesting that past species might have had their own journey parallel to ours, towards the sky or even beyond. This notion might sound like the stuff of myths, yet the evidence urges us to dig deeper. First, let's look at Earth's primary evidence, the fossils. Paleontologists have long scratched the Earth's surface, uncovering remnants of life that lived millions of years ago. Among these fossils are creatures that didn't just wander on land or swim in oceans, they took to the air. Pterosaur fossils, for example, show that these airborne reptiles dominated the skies during the age of dinosaurs. With wingspans reaching over 10 meters, they were the largest flying animals ever known. They didn't just glide, they mastered flight, an achievement comparable to our invention of airplanes. These creatures represent a fascinating chapter in the natural history of flight, which sparks the question, was this a starting point for even greater exploration? We can delve further by considering the brain power and behavior of such species. Modern birds, sharing ancestry with dinosaurs, display impressive cognitive abilities. Researchers have found that some birds, like crows and parrots, use tools and solve complex puzzles, hinting at sophisticated intelligence. This opens up a tantalizing possibility. If certain ancient species combined the physical ability to fly with advanced intelligence, could they have pushed boundaries, exploring and understanding their world in ways we hadn't imagined? Archaeological and paleontological records occasionally reveal oddities that challenge our understanding of prehistoric life. Some findings suggest technological capabilities that seem advanced for their time. For example, the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek analog computer, showed grassroots astronomy and engineering knowledge far more advanced than we expected. Although this doesn't directly relate to non-human life forms achieving flight, it demonstrates how past civilizations achieved great technological feats that can take us by surprise. Could such innovations have happened even earlier, in forms we can't yet imagine, and by species we haven't yet considered? To explore further, we turn to technology's role in understanding past life. The application of imaging technology and computer simulations on fossils allows researchers to reconstruct and analyze ancient creatures in unprecedented detail. By visualizing how muscles attached to bones, scientists can hypothesize how these ancient flyers maneuvered through prehistoric skies. It also prompts questions about why such capable creatures vanished. Theories about the mass extinction events offer some answers, such as volcanic eruptions or asteroids colliding with Earth, drastically altering the climate. Yet, these endings also provoke thought about how much was lost. What if some species had achieved capabilities beyond survival, reaching a stage of innovation we will never know? As we question what could have been, contemporary science offers a glimpse into life's resilience and tenacity through evolution. Look no further than how modern species adapt in extreme environments. Sea creatures thriving without sunlight in ocean depths rely on chemosynthesis instead of photosynthesis. These survival stories point to nature's endless adaptability and inventiveness. The possibility of advanced ancient species gives room for discovering how life might evolve, adapt, and disappear. It nudges us to examine why some species vanish while others thrive. This angle is crucial as we reflect on our own place within this vast story of life. One species contributing to Earth's continuing history of ascent, adaptation, and exploration. Science thrives on curiosity, the drive to ask questions and seek answers. As evidence mounts, it challenges the boundaries of our understanding, encouraging us not to dismiss what might seem improbable. The thought that past species could have developed means to explore their worlds, perhaps even reaching heights or distances beyond what we imagined, isn't just captivating. It's an invitation to continually question and explore the unknown. These points intertwine in our persistent quest to uncover what history hides beneath its layers. The more we know, the more we realize there is to discover. As technology advances, perhaps one day, fragments of this skyward journey will come into clearer view, changing how we see both the past and our place in the universe. Until then, each discovery in science invites us to try to read what the stones and skies silently tell. For all we know, the next turn of a rock or a refined dating method in a lab may be the key to unlocking untold histories of life that dared to soar. Chapter 5. Vanished Voyagers. Millions of years ago, Earth teemed with creatures that fascinate us today. Among these ancient inhabitants were the dinosaurs, dominating the land with their massive forms and unique adaptations. Now, imagine for a moment that some of these remarkable species had achieved an incredible feat: the power of flight, or perhaps even space travel. What clues would they have left behind, and how might their achievements have changed our understanding of history and evolution? Let's start with what we know from existing fossil records and scientific studies. Birds, the closest living relatives to many dinosaurs, evolved from theropod dinosaurs during the Jurassic period. The Archaeopteryx, often cited as the first bird, appeared around 150 million years ago. It had feathers and wings, but retained many dinosaur-like features, including sharp teeth and a long bony tail. This evolution hints that some dinosaurs were indeed experimenting with flight long before birds took to the skies in today's familiar forms. The idea of ancient species developing advanced technology like flight, or beyond that, space travel, is a captivating one. Scientists have discovered fascinating adaptations in certain dinosaurs that suggest they were very much capable of complex behaviors. For example, the Troodon, a small theropod dinosaur with keen eyesight and a large brain relative to its body size, hints at above-average intelligence compared to other species of its time. Was it possible that such intelligent creatures could conceptualize tools, perhaps even develop rudimentary technology? When exploring the possibility of early flight in ancient creatures, we should consider the pterosaurs. They are not dinosaurs, but they lived alongside them and had enormous wingspans, with some as wide as a small aircraft's. These creatures mastered the skies millions of years ago, showcasing the adaptability of reptilian life in achieving powered flight. Studying them gives us insight into how anatomy can adapt to new ways of living, teaching us about the evolutionary pressures that might push a species to the skies. However, jumping from flight to space travel demands an enormous leap in technology and understanding. Today's first hypothesis could extend from the discovery of puzzling ancient artifacts that sometimes seem out of place for their temporal context. Known as OOPArts, out-of-place artifacts, these are objects that, according to certain interpretations, could suggest advanced technologies in prehistoric times. Most of these claims have been debunked or rationalized through more conventional explanations, yet they fuel the imagination. Another intriguing avenue of exploration is the examination of cosmic impacts and other planetary changes that altered the Earth's trajectory and the trajectory of those who lived upon it. Studies on meteor impacts, for example, highlight the interconnectivity between life on Earth and celestial events. The impact event that led to the extinction of the dinosaurs about 66 million years ago is a stark reminder of how delicate life can be and how it can be dramatically altered by external forces. Further into our investigation, we should consider expert opinions. Paleontologists like Dr. Mary Schweitzer have made landmark discoveries in the study of soft tissues within fossilized dinosaur bones, opening up new evidence about dinosaur biology and potentially their cognitive capabilities. These advancements in paleontology propel forward our understanding of how sophisticated these ancient creatures might have been and what evolutionary paths they could have taken. As we muse over the topic, we must continually ground our wonder in the realities of evolutionary constraints and ecological niches. Evolution is not goal-directed. The evolutionary pathways that dinosaurs and ancient birds tread were dictated by their environments, physiological capabilities, and available resources. The suggestion that ancient species could have achieved space travel points more to our human fascination with possibility and exploration than it does to actual historical events. Nevertheless, by investigating other potential signs of intelligence or advanced capability in the fossil record, we can learn more about the potential that different forms of life might harbor. Fossils like the claw markings, thought to be made by the velociraptor, showing evidence of coordinated hunting behavior, challenge us to rethink how advanced certain groups of dinosaurs might have been in solving problems or working in groups. In the meantime, modern technology and continued research will likely reveal more secrets of ancient life and possibly offer new insights into what extinct creatures might have been capable of. By imagining these ancient species in new lights, not only do we deepen our appreciation for the richness of Earth's history, but we also fuel our desire to explore beyond our own world as we continue our quest to understand life both on this planet and possibly elsewhere in the universe. This ongoing journey reminds us of the vastness of both time and space and encourages us to keep wondering, investigating, and uncovering the mysteries of Earth's incredible past. Chapter 6: Ascendant Ancients. Imagine a world where ancient species harnessed the skies or even ventured into the cosmic abyss. This thought, while intriguing, isn't about spinning wild tales, but about cleverly exploring the untold history of life on our planet. Today, we delve into this riveting concept rooted in scientific thinking and archaeological wonders hidden in plain sight. The story begins around 150 million years ago, during the late Jurassic period, a time when massive creatures we know as dinosaurs roamed the Earth. The skies were dominated by the pterosaurs, a group of flying reptiles that were the first vertebrates to achieve powered flight. Some species of pterosaurs, like the Quetzalcoatlus, had wingspans exceeding 30 feet. They would glide gracefully over the turbulent seas, their powerful wings cutting through the air with precision. This ability to soar above land and sea begs the question: what would have happened if their evolution took a path towards technological advances? Recent discoveries in the fossil record have revealed fascinating details about the brain structure of these creatures, showcasing complex neural networks in areas responsible for balance and sight. Studies have shown that their large eyes were capable of keen vision, which must have aided them in navigating and hunting. Could these characteristics have been the ancient starting points for a species capable of invention and exploration far beyond our expectations? Sifting through centuries, we come upon a species whose intelligence and innovation changed the course of history: the Homo erectus. Living over 1.5 million years ago, these early humans are credited with taming fire and possibly even constructing the first watercraft. Their keen survival skills eventually led to the migration and spread across vast territories. What if, given more time or another leap in evolution, they developed tools to explore the skies or reached the stars? While imagining early flight or space odysseys, one must acknowledge the incredible complexities involved. Modern understanding of aerodynamics and physics wasn't available to these ancient beings. However, the concept of flight has fascinated humans for time immemorial, seen in the stories of Icarus from Greek mythology and the dream-inspired sketches by innovators like Leonardo da Vinci. The persistent human desire to explore and conquer the skies often reflects a drive deeply rooted in survival instincts. A captivating aspect of this exploration is how different earthly environments might have pushed distinct species towards inventive solutions. For instance, in South America, the dense jungles and expansive river systems offered countless opportunities for adaptation. Scientists have often marveled at the mysteries of ancient civilizations, like the Nazca, who created vast geoglyphs visible only from the air. These lines on the desert terrain provoke endless curiosity. Could these be relics of ancient flight paths or markers guiding aerial travelers? Turning attention beneath the waves, the ocean hides its own secrets. The intelligence seen in marine species like octopuses and dolphins invites speculation on evolution's alternate routes. With their problem-solving skills and complex social structures, could these aquatic creatures have built interstellar ships if a cosmic necessity had pushed them towards advanced innovation? The evidence, although indirect, paints a plausible picture of inventive spirits peppered throughout natural history. Evolutionary biologists and paleontologists continue to study the intricate patterns in genetic codes, hoping to identify key shifts that may rhyme with humanity's thirst for understanding beyond immediate horizons. Then there's the question of vanished species and unexplained disappearances. From the trilobites of ancient seas to the majestic beasts of recent glaciated stretches, many species vanished, leaving whispers in rocks and genetic footprints barely grasped by today's science. Could there have been advanced species that left no trace or chose to leave Earth behind? Modern technologies, like LiDAR and satellite imagery, are uncovering once hidden civilizations and ancient landscapes. As technology grows, it enables us to peel back layers of Earth's history with increasing accuracy. This constant uncovering feeds into our understanding of what might have been. On closer inspection, the lines separating myth and history blur, and the milestones of civilization reveal the true spirit of curiosity inherent in life itself. If birds, evolved dinosaurs in essence, took to the skies with remarkable ease, or if certain mammals developed feats of engineering, these would reflect natural progressions dictated by environment and needs, much like human innovation. While modern science hasn't definitively proven interstellar escapades by ancient species, the possibilities enrich our current understanding. Each fossil unearthed and each ancient artifact studied provide precious data points, inviting us to ponder the sprawling canvas of Earth's past. As researchers and explorers, encouraging skepticism is key, yet it's crucial not to dismiss pathways of the imagination. These musings dot the path toward greater discovery. After all, today's musings fuel tomorrow's breakthroughs, turning dreams into reality, step by careful step, with the lessons of history guiding that steady course forward. Chapter 7: Stellar Shadows. Imagine a world where ancient species, ones that roamed long before humans, unlocked the secrets of flight or even ventured into the vastness of space. It may sound like the beginning of a science fiction tale, but let's explore the imaginative yet plausible scenario by delving into the world of possibilities based on what we know from our planet's history and the intriguing mysteries that still captivate scientists today. The idea isn't entirely far-fetched. Earth has seen the rise and fall of incredible species capable of things we might find remarkable. Consider the pterosaurs, which soared through the skies over 66 million years ago, with wingspans that could reach over 10 meters. These behemoths of the air were masters of flight long before birds came to dominate the skies. They had keen eyesight and lightweight skeletons, making them agile in the air. Could these magnificent creatures have potentially understood more about the skies than we give them credit for? A fascinating tale from science is the study of certain bird species and their remarkable navigational skills. Birds like the Arctic tern and homing pigeons have been observed using the Earth's magnetic fields to guide their long migratory journeys. This begs the question: could an ancient species have developed a similar or even more advanced method of navigation? While we often imagine technological advancements as the realm of human intelligence, it's worth exploring how intelligence manifested in other forms across evolutionary history. Cephalopods, such as octopuses, are known for their problem-solving abilities and complex behaviors. With brains proportionately larger than many mammals and the ability to manipulate their environment, They show that intelligence in the animal kingdom is varied and widespread. When we examine the stars, we find another story: the incredible distances between planets and the challenge of traveling through space are hurdles that human technology is only beginning to overcome. Interestingly, recent discoveries about microbial life on Earth suggest that life could potentially hitch a ride on comets or meteorites, offering a natural form of space travel, albeit on a very long timescale. The concept known as panspermia suggests that life could spread across planets this way. Could intelligent life have engineered a way to utilize natural space phenomena to travel or send their genetic material into the cosmos? Archaeological discoveries add another layer to this discussion. Consider the mysterious ancient Nazca lines in Peru, massive geoglyphs etched into the desert floor. Some people have speculated that these designs, which can only be fully appreciated from the air, might suggest an understanding of flight or a desire to communicate with aerial beings. Though there are simpler explanations for the lines, such as ceremonial or astronomical purposes, they inspire curiosity about what ancient civilizations might have achieved if given different conditions or opportunities. The possibility of ancient species achieving great feats raises questions of how such knowledge could have been lost. Natural disasters, climate change, or even a cosmic event like an asteroid impact could lead to the sudden disappearance of a species, taking their innovations and achievements with them. Dinosaurs, once the rulers of the Earth, vanished due to such an event, but left behind traces in fossils that continue to teach us about their world. This exploration of what ancient species might have achieved is more than an exercise in imagination. It sheds light on our understanding of evolution, intelligence, and the resilience of life. It invites us to look deeper into the past and use our scientific tools to uncover the stories nature still has to tell. What remnants might remain buried under layers of rock or encoded in DNA, waiting for someone to piece them together into a narrative that could reshape our view of life's potential. The quest to unravel these mysteries echoes the human penchant for exploration. Just as our ancestors looked to the stars with wonder, we too seek to understand what ancient worlds might have been capable of. This drives both the scientific and human spirit to reach beyond the known, asking questions that lead to discoveries about who we are and who we might become. And perhaps, in these questions and discoveries, we find reflections of our journey echoing through the ages, inviting us to imagine just what might have been possible and what future paths lie ahead. Chapter 8: Prehistoric Pilots. Imagine a world where creatures from the past were not just the rulers of land and sea, but of the skies and beyond as well. What if they had achieved flight or even space travel before disappearing? It's a fascinating thought experiment that makes us wonder about the limits of evolution and ingenuity. Scientists have long studied ancient species, trying to piece together how they lived and what they were capable of. Could any of them have taken to the skies in ways we haven't yet understood? As we dig into this idea, let's first consider our oldest friends from the past, the dinosaurs. While we know that birds are their closest living relatives, and some dinosaurs likely had feathers suited for gliding or flight, what if there were species that took flight in a more technological sense? There's evidence that some pterosaurs, those incredible flying reptiles, had wingspans as large as small airplanes. These creatures were masters of air travel in their own time. Some researchers have proposed that just as the wings of birds have led to astonishing evolutions, such as the hummingbird's ability to hover, so too might have pterosaurs innovated their aerial skills if given more time. Could prehistoric creatures have had the intelligence to develop a deeper understanding of aerodynamics beyond instinct? We know that the cerebral capacities of some dinosaurs were remarkably high. Consider the troodontids, which had larger brain-to-body ratios, suggesting they could have possessed problem-solving skills or social behaviors. Recent fossil discoveries show evidence that they had advanced sensory abilities. Just imagine if they had directed those to explore the skies with purpose-designed gliders or harnessed winds over vast distances with precision. Another angle to consider is the notion of space travel, which feels even more fantastical. To embark on such a journey under their presumably primitive conditions would seem impossible. However, there are intriguing elements in nature that give pause. Take a look at the migration patterns of birds today, like the Arctic tern, which travels from one pole to the other, driven by the Earth's magnetic field. They utilize planetary phenomena to navigate vast expanses, a skill set suggesting a fundamental form of space exploration within our atmosphere. Throughout Earth's history, several species have unexpectedly demonstrated conversational levels of environmental manipulation. The beaver, considered an engineer, can transform landscapes. Certain ants engage in farming, cultivating fungal crops. These actions are simple forms of ecosystem control and adaptation, hinting at the potential for much greater technological advancement given time and need. Could ancient species have similarly manipulated their environment to achieve primitive flight, or even conceptualize something akin to exploration? In investigating the fossil record, we occasionally stumble upon strange formations and artifacts. While they often have straightforward geological explanations, occasionally they provoke our imaginations. Stone arrangements and fossilized traces from ancient biotic activity sometimes appear eerily organized, although most scientists caution against reading too much into these formations, as they are frequently products of natural processes. Yet, when combined with the notion of intelligence and capability, they make us pause and rethink the potential scope of prehistoric engineering. Scientific discoveries continue to provide incredible insights. Think about the astonishing complexity of insects like bees, which create precise and efficient hives, or songbirds using intricate tunes that change in response to challenges. When ancient species are framed with the same sense of wonder at their ingenuity, it pushes us to imagine the heights they might have reached. Could forgotten species have achieved flight, or even touched the stars? While the evidence remains elusive, our curiosity and exploration of these possibilities serve not just to entertain wild scenarios, but to highlight the capabilities embedded in life, evolution's potential, and the ever-present drive of species to push boundaries. Each new fossil, find, or genetic clue may one day bring us closer to understanding just how far the so-called primitive world could have ventured, and expands the bounds of what we think nature can accomplish. We realize that every discovery is like a small window, allowing us to gaze upon an unfamiliar yet intricately connected past. Chapter 9. Flight into Oblivion. Imagine we stumbled upon a world where ancient creatures painted the skies in a way we never thought possible. Let's journey back, far beyond our usual timelines, to a period where life on Earth took pathways as strangely wonderful as a dream. It's a thrilling idea, isn't it? What if some of these species could conquer the skies, or even the great void of space, and then simply disappeared? Today, we'll explore this fascinating notion, not through fantasy, but by examining compelling evidence and scientific reasoning that makes us reconsider what we know. First, let's think about flying during prehistory. Birds, insects, and pterosaurs have achieved flight. But what went on in the minds of other species that might have seen these masters of the sky? Could there have been a leap from simple admiration or utility to the deliberate act of creation. Early birds and insects were evolutionary pioneers, using wings for survival. But what if, eons ago, there were other minds at work, experimenting, tinkering, and eventually mastering the skies in ways similar to human ingenuity? Consider the ancient pterosaurs. If you've ever seen their fossils, you'd know that these creatures were impressive indeed. They had wingspans that some say stretched nearly as wide as a small plane today. Now, let's delve a little deeper. In 2017, a discovery in Morocco brought to light a new pterosaur species named Alchoni elanus. Their fossils show adaptations suggesting they could fly extended distances, maybe even crossing ancient seas. Imagine a world where these creatures didn't just rely on natural instinct, but had the drive to enhance their flight. If this sounds like pure speculation, remember that nature continuously prompts us with surprises. Now, as we ponder flight, let's shift our gaze upwards to the stars. The idea of any past species embarking on space travel sounds outrageous, doesn't it? Yet, looking at the intelligence certain species possess today, from dolphins who exhibit complex behaviors to crows that display problem-solving skills, suggests a potential we've only just begun to understand. Could a similar intelligence have flourished millions of years ago, only to leave behind no traces of civilization as we define it? Let us turn to the works of Dr. Gavin Schmidt and Dr. Adam Frank from NASA and the University of Rochester, respectively. They explored the fascinating idea known as the Silurian hypothesis, which asks whether we could find evidence of past civilizations if they existed millions of years ago. They argue that geological records could potentially host such evidence, though erosion and tectonic activity might make it difficult to uncover. It raises, however, a thrilling possibility. Could some beings have developed far enough to engage in spaceflight and left no discernible trace? As peculiar as it seems, we find precedent for surprising capabilities in Earth's animals. Consider the remarkable ability of monarch butterflies to migrate thousands of miles. It's not just some random wandering. It's an intricate, somewhat pre-programmed journey passed down over generations. This natural tendency towards wanderlust might have ignited a similar movement towards exploration in ancient creatures, taking them into realms beyond our immediate understanding. The vast ruins of past life lie beneath our feet. Dinosaurs ruled the Earth for over 165 million years. Compare this to modern humans, who only appeared about 300,000 years ago. Might some species have achieved feats we wouldn't expect over such a long timeline? Paleontologists have uncovered species with surprisingly complex behaviors. Take the Trudon, a small dinosaur with a notably large brain for its size, suggesting high intelligence. Could creatures like these have achieved technological capabilities? Perhaps advancements in their environmental adaptations were the early seeds needed for more complex exploration. Earth's history is like a book, every layer of rock a page. As scientists dig and discover, they find stories that reshape our understanding of past life. Often, it's not that these creatures vanished without a trace, but that traces remain. We just need to know where and how to look. Though these scenarios may seem far-fetched, they serve as a poignant reminder of the potential within life. We've learned not to underestimate the capabilities of nature and evolution. In exploring these possibilities, we embrace humility and awe for what may lie hidden in the shadows of knowledge. With each fossil unearthed and each new discovery, we add a line of possibility to the ever-revolving storybook of life on Earth. In this magnificent journey, Who knows what other marvels await our discovery as we continue to peel back the layers of time. Forever curious, always reaching out to touch the stars with our imaginations, just as our ancestors once might have done. Chapter 10. Cosmic Echoes. Imagine a world where a species, long before humans dominated the Earth, took to the skies. Not just with flight within our atmosphere, but perhaps even ventured beyond, exploring the cosmos. It is a tantalizing thought, one that stirs the imagination and makes us wonder about the stories written in the stars. Let's embark on an exploratory journey where science meets a great mystery of our planet, the elusive traces of those who might have reached beyond. Many millions of years ago, life on Earth was vastly different from what it is today. Picture the age of dinosaurs, where these majestic creatures roamed our planet for about 165 million years. That's immensely longer than humans have existed. During this time, certain species might have had the intelligence and ability to reach technological heights. Who could imagine a dinosaur with the capability of building spacecraft? Yet, if evolution had taken just slight turns, who knows where it might have led them? Archaeological studies reveal that many ancient cultures around the world have legends and carvings depicting creatures that could fly. For instance, the Nazca lines in Peru, with massive illustrations significant only from an aerial view, keep us intrigued. Although the Nazca people were human, their creativity sparks thoughts about what might inspire such ground drawings. Were they inspired by something or, perhaps, someone they observed above? In modern science, we explore the intriguing idea of convergent evolution. This is where unrelated species develop similar traits independently, often due to similar environmental pressures or challenges. Birds and bats, for instance, both developed wings, despite their ancestors being grounded creatures. So it's not outlandish to consider that another ancient species might have developed an unexpected mastery of the skies. There are theories supported by fossil evidence that certain dinosaurs, like the Archaeopteryx, experienced evolution heading towards flight. It's a fascinating thought that complex dinosaur societies could have evolved to a point where they eventually constructed tools or even machines. However, due to the lack of any significant technological remnants, this remains an imaginative yet captivating concept. But what if they progressed further than we can currently uncover? Great minds like Carl Sagan have often mused about extraterrestrial life and the cosmos. This leads us to think, if such an evolutionary path did exist, where did it lead? If another intelligent species developed advanced technology millions of years ago, is it possible they left Earth? Scientific discussions sometimes touch on the possibility of technosignatures, evidence of technologies made by intelligent life beyond Earth. If they reached for the stars, perhaps some clue remains, hidden but detectable, in the cosmic whisper we call radio waves, or in peculiar orbits that feel unnatural around a distant star. Our modern-day explorers are scientists and astronomers, who tirelessly scan the skies, not just seeking life, but also investigating unusual phenomena that could hint at past or present advanced civilizations. In 1967, radio astronomers discovered pulsars, magnetic, dense stars. Initially, some even thought those rhythmic signals were from an intelligent source. If one day we were to find a pulse or a distant planetary artifact that defies natural explanation, it could tie back to a species long lost to time. With technological advancements such as the James Webb Space Telescope and advancements in detecting exoplanets, we are gradually growing closer to uncovering these hidden cosmic secrets. Perhaps one day, the discovery of an artifact in space or an abnormal celestial signal will prompt humanity to rewrite histories and make us reconsider who walked and perhaps flew before us. There are also earthly clues, sometimes right in front of us, often missed. We look at advanced engineering marvels like the pyramids or lost cities submerged beneath oceans from a time when sea levels were lower. Could some design or method bear the marks of lessons learned or inspired by ancient species, feats? As we dig into our planet's past, search the heavens, and develop technologies to listen to the universe more profoundly, we ought to maintain curiosity and open-mindedness. Fossils might tell us the tale of a species that never took to space, but imagination, paired with science, reminds us that the Earth and universe still have many secrets left to share. This interplay of history, science, and a sense of wonderment, while respecting hard evidence and critical thinking, gives us a profound appreciation for our universe's complexity. It keeps us ever alert, for that might one day reveal the fascinating past more than we ever imagined. The truth might not only lie within our timeline, but could also resonate through the stars, waiting for us to tune in.